Life isn't fair, and it never will be. But here's something most people never realize. The very truths that feel unfair, the ones most people avoid, are the ones that can give you an edge. Today, I'm sharing 17 brutal truths that, if you accept them, will give you an unfair advantage in life. Some of them will sting, but that's exactly why they matter. Truth 1. Nobody owes you anything. We grow up thinking that if we're nice, if we work hard, if we stay out of trouble, life will reward us. But here's the reality. The world doesn't care. Nobody is coming to hand you success on a silver platter. I remember when I graduated from college, I thought companies would line up to hire me. Instead, I sent out application after application and got nothing. That was my wake-up call. Nobody owed me an opportunity. I had to earn it. Lesson: stop waiting for someone to rescue you. Life starts moving when you stop expecting and start creating. Truth 2. Time is your scarcest resource. Time is the one thing you can never get back. You can lose money and earn it again. You can lose relationships and rebuild. But every second that passes is gone forever. I once had a friend who always said, "I'll start my business someday." That someday never came. 10 years later, he was in the same job, with the same frustrations, while others who started earlier were far ahead. Lesson: your unfair advantage comes when you treat time like currency. Spend it intentionally, not carelessly. Truth 3. Life is a competition. You might not like it, but life is competitive. Jobs, relationships, opportunities. Someone else wants the same thing you do. Pretending life isn't a competition just leaves you unprepared. When I applied for my first serious job, there were over 200 applicants. Everyone was talented, everyone had degrees. The ones who stood out weren't just good, they were better. That was when I understood life doesn't hand rewards to the deserving, it hands them to the prepared. Lesson: accept the competition. Don't whine about it. Outwork, outlearn, and outlast. Truth 4. Discipline beats motivation. Motivation is great, but it's temporary. It comes and goes like the weather. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation disappears. I had a gym buddy who always said, "I'll join when I feel motivated." Months later, he was still waiting. Meanwhile, I built habits and saw progress. Not because I was always motivated, but because I showed up regardless. Lesson: discipline is the secret weapon that gets results while others are waiting to feel ready. Truth 5. Feelings lie. Feelings are unreliable. You won't feel like waking up early, working late, or pushing through discomfort. But progress comes when you act regardless of how you feel. There were days I didn't want to work, didn't want to study, didn't want to meet people. But when I pushed through, I discovered something. Feelings are temporary, but results are lasting. Lesson: don't let temporary emotions dictate permanent outcomes. Truth 6. Failure is feedback, not the end. Failure feels final, but it's really just a lesson in disguise. Every mistake carries information about what doesn't work, and that knowledge makes you sharper. My first side hustle collapsed. At the time, I was embarrassed and thought it proved I wasn't cut out for business. Years later, the lessons from that failure were exactly what helped me succeed in my next venture. Lesson: don't fear failure. Fear standing still. Each failure is a stepping stone forward. Truth 7. Not everyone wants the best for you. Some people in your life will secretly root for your failure. They may smile to your face but compete with you behind your back. I once told a friend about a business idea only to find out they pitched it to others as their own. That's when I learned, not every friendly face is genuine. Lesson: protect your energy, keep your circle small, trust actions, not words. Truth 8. You are replaceable at work. No matter how valuable you think you are to your company, the truth is you can be replaced. Businesses survive because they're designed to run with or without you. A colleague of mine thought the company couldn't function without him. Then he was laid off. Within a week, everything was running smoothly. That's when I realized titles don't secure you. Skills do. Lesson: don't build identity around a job. Build skills, adaptability, and multiple streams of value. Truth 9: most people don't care about your problems. As harsh as it sounds, most people are too focused on their own struggles to care deeply about yours. Sympathy is temporary, action is permanent. When I lost a close relative, the world around me kept moving. Bills came, deadlines stayed, and life didn't pause. That's when I realized, while some people care, most don't have the capacity to carry your burdens. Lesson: vent less, solve more. People respect solutions, not complaints. Truth 10: money buys freedom. We often hear money doesn't buy happiness. True, but it buys time, options, and security, which are the foundations for happiness. Growing up, I saw people who had to stay in toxic jobs because they couldn't afford to leave. Meanwhile, those with financial stability had the freedom to choose. Lesson: don't chase money for vanity. Chase it for freedom. It gives you choices others don't have. Truth 11: debt, slavery. Not all debt is bad, but consumer debt, cars, gadgets, lifestyle loans keeps you chained. I once met a man earning six figures, yet he was buried in credit card debt. On paper, he looked successful. In reality, he was trapped. His life wasn't his own. It belonged to the banks. Lesson: use debt wisely. Build assets, not liabilities. True freedom is living unchained. Truth 12: people respect results, not effort. You don't get rewarded for how hard you try. You get rewarded for what you produce. In school, I poured hours into a 10-page essay and got an average grade. Meanwhile, a classmate wrote a concise, impactful paper and scored top marks. That was my first lesson in results. Effort matters, but only when it creates results. Lesson: focus on outcomes. Work smarter, not just harder. Truth 13: change is the only constant. The world doesn't stand still for anyone. Industries evolve. Technology evolves. Relationships evolve. 10 years ago, the idea of someone making millions as a YouTuber or influencer was laughable. Today, it's reality. The people who adapt thrive. The people who resist get left behind. Lesson: flexibility is power. Don't cling to the past. Anticipate change and move with it. Truth 14: skills are more valuable than degrees. Degrees can open doors, but skills keep you inside. Many degree holders struggle while self-taught individuals thrive. I've seen coders without formal education earn more than engineers. Designers, marketers, freelancers, those with skills have leverage. Lesson: keep learning. Build practical skills. Knowledge is only power when it's applied. Truth 15: comfort is the enemy. The more comfortable you get, the less you grow. Growth requires discomfort. I once froze during my first public speaking attempt. It was terrifying, but that single experience stretched me in ways no comfort ever could. Lesson: seek discomfort. That's where growth hides. Truth 16: no one is thinking about you as much as you think. We often live paralyzed by the fear of judgment. But here's the truth: most people are too busy thinking about themselves. When I delayed going to the gym, I thought everyone would laugh at me for being out of shape. But when I finally went, nobody cared. They were too focused on their own reflections. Lesson: stop holding back out of fear. People aren't watching as closely as you think. Truth 17: you will die. This is the most brutal truth. Life ends for all of us. We just don't know when. A mentor of mine passed away in his 40s, just as he was talking about all the things he'd do someday. Someday never came. That moment reminded me, death isn't something to fear, it's a deadline that forces us to live with urgency. Stop postponing your dreams. Act while you still can. These 17 truths are uncomfortable, but once you embrace them, they give you a massive edge. Most people deny reality. The few who accept it and act win. The question is, will you? Which of these truths hit you the hardest? Drop it in the comments. And remember, life won't wait for you. Start now.